Good morning all. Welcome to lecture 2 of unit 4. Today we are going to discuss about Einstein's coefficients. So Einstein coefficients is nothing but it's a proof, theoretical proof for the production of laser light and the characteristics of laser light. Because laser is produced by using stimulated emissions of radiations, which is not a natural process. We are manipulating the system by adding the impurities, creating the metastable state, and increasing the lifetime of the electrons in the excited state. And once they come through the stimulated emissions, then we are able to produce the laser light. So the stimulated emissions of radiations, is it a valid one or not, is being proved by the Einstein. That is known as Einstein's coefficients. In the year 1917, Einstein predicted the existence of two different kinds of process by which an atoms emit radiation. So transition between the atomic energy state is a statistical process. It is not possible to predict which particular atom will make a transition from one state to another state or at a particular instant. So from an assembly of very large number of atoms, it is possible to calculate the rate of transition between these two states. Einstein was the first to calculate the probability of such transition, assuming the atomic state to be in the equilibrium with electromagnetic radiation. If To understand this, let us assume that there are two energy states, E1 and E2, ground state and the excited state. So let if N1 is the number of atoms in the E1 state and N2 is the number of atoms in E2 state, and U is the total energy, nu is the frequency of the radiation, is the energy incident on the system. Then the probabilities of transmissions of atoms from E1 to E2 state, that is called as stimulated absorption, is given by, see here, though it looks very tedious, but when you understand it will be easy. P indicates the probabilities, because whenever a system consists of few number of atoms or molecules, we can't decide which atom is going up or which atom is de-exciting. So that's why, in order to understand this concept, rather than understanding for the individual transition, let us go for the probabilities of transitions. So now P indicates the probabilities. Transitions from 1 to 2 state. Here it is indicated as suffix. So 1 to 2 state means whenever energy is incident on the system, the atoms will absorb that energy and they go from ground state to the excited state. Here ground state is taken as one state E1 and excited state is taken as E2, the second state. So that's why the probabilities of transitions from 1 to 2 state is proportional to U nu. Means whenever we incident with some energy only, then the transitions will take place. That energy is taken as U nu here. Once if we remove the proportionality constant, we call it as P12 is equal to B12 U nu. B12 is known as proportionality constant. Now if I consider N1 as the population here is considered as number of atoms in the ground state and number of atoms in the excited state, taken as N1 and N2. So N1 P12 is equal to N1 B12 U nu, multiplying with N1 on both sides. N1 is nothing but the population of the electrons or atoms in the ground state. B12 is known as proportionality constant. Now, once the atoms are in the excited state, from the excited state, in the earlier classes, we have discussed that they may de-excite in two states. One is spontaneous emission and another one is stimulated emission. And you already know that spontaneous emission will not depend on the incident radiation. It will automatically, once the lifetime is over, it will come back to the ground state. So that thing can be understood as the population in the N2 state and the probabilities of transitions from 2 to 1 state. Since it is de-excitation process, we are considering it as 2 to 1 is equal to N2 A21. And since it is not depending on the incident radiation, you are not taking U nu here. So simply writing N2 P21 is equal to N2 A21. But now, if we manipulate the system by creating the metastable state and so on, we can achieve the stimulated emissions, but stimulated emissions will always depends on the instant radiation. Now, the number of spontaneous transitions taking place in the time delta t depends on only the number of atoms N2 lying in the excited state. Whereas the probabilities of transitions of atoms from E2 to E1 state, means spontaneous emission, is probabilities of transition to 2 to 1 is proportional to U nu. And if you remove the proportionality constant, we call it as B21. and multiplying with N2 on both sides, finally we can write N2P21 is equal to N2BT1 into U nu. Therefore, the number of downward transitions from P2 to 1 N2P21 is equal to N2A21, which is spontaneous emission, N2B21 U nu, which is stimulated emission. So downward transitions are sum up of the spontaneous as well as the stimulated emission. Under the thermal equilibrium, number of upward transitions is equal to number of downward transitions. So that's why we are now indicating the stimulated absorption is equal to spontaneous emission plus stimulated emission. So now we can write with the equation N1P12 is equal to N2P21, and equating 1 and 2 equations we can write N1B12 U nu is equal to N2A21 plus N2B21 U nu. Solve this equation for the amount of the radiation that you are supplying, that is U nu. So U nu taking common, N1B12 minus N2B21 is equal to N2A21. If you solve it for U nu is equal to N2A21. This will come down as denominator. So N1B12 minus N2B21. Now if you take the N2 as common, N2B21 as common, we get the equation as A21 by B21 by N1 by N2, B12 by B21 minus 1. According to the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, we already know this equation as N1 by N2 is equal to exponential h nu by kBT. How we get this here is by using the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, N1 is equal to N naught exponential minus E1 by kBT and so on. So while deriving this equation, you just remember that N1 by N2 is equal to exponential h nu by kBT. Need not remember the original Einstein-Bose equations to calculate this. So finally, when you substitute U nu is equal to A21 by B21 as usual, instead of N1 by N2, we are keeping exponential h nu by kBT. Similarly, B12 by B21 minus 1 as usual. Now, we have to compare this equation by using Planck's theory of black body radiation. So Planck's theory of black body radiation, in some classes we can derive it, but here we are taking it as direct. You need to remember this equation for a while. So U nu is equal to 8 pi nu square d nu by c cube into 1 by exponential h nu by kBT minus 1. Now we need to compare this 4 and 5. So U nu is equal to U nu. A21 by B21 is equal to 8 pi nu square d nu by c cube, this numerator and numerator, and denominator has to be compared with exponential h nu by kBT exponential h nu. B12 by B21 minus 1. So now we can say that B12 by B21 is equal to 1, and A21 by B21, when you compare the numerator 8 pi nu square d nu by c cube, is rest of all these are constants, 8 pi and c, velocity of light. So finally we can say that A21 by B21 is proportional to nu square. If you remove the proportionality constant, we can use all these constants. Similarly, when you compare the denominator, B12 by B21 is equal to 1. So equated B12 is equal to B21. So remember, this Einstein's coefficients are derived at equilibrium condition. At equilibrium means ground state population should be equal to the excited state population. So all these equations are called as Einstein's coefficients. A21, B21, B12, B21. All these are called as Einstein's coefficients. And during the equilibrium condition, we can say that stimulated absorption is equal to stimulated emissions. And A21 by B21, the spontaneous emission or stimulated emission, is always proportional to nu square. So nu square is nothing but the incident frequency radiation. Unless you incidents at an energy to a system, none of the electrons or atoms will go to the excited state, and once they go to the excited state, they may come spontaneously or they may fall down stimulatedly. But remember that always the stimulated emissions leads to the laser action. So this is about the Einstein's coefficients. Means Einstein has theoretically proved that at equilibrium conditions, stimulated emissions is equal to the spontaneous emissions. So this gave a supporting proof for the existence of the laser light through the stimulated emissions. Thank you.